Hello there, welcome back. It is 2024, you know what that means. My face is on camera for the very first time for some reason, but I think it's about time that we get an updated graphic novel omnibus collection. I've had a few people commenting still on last year's video, asking for an update, asking me if I'm going to film a new one. Yes, I am, and here it is. I want to send my huge thanks and gratitude out to everyone that's still months and months after. Comment, leave your opinions, leave your questions on the last video. It means the absolute world to me to know that people out there are still thinking, where's the next one? Where's the next collection update? I love it. I can't express my gratitude enough. I never thought that anyone would care to watch these, let alone the dozens and dozens of you that have been commenting, asking for new ones. So thank you to everyone that's tuning in once again with me this year. We got some new shelves, we got some new books, we got some upgrades, we got some stuff that's gone, and I've got a dog. Maybe we'll get a cameo appearance in this video, who knows. So without further ado, thank you everyone once again, and yeah, I think let's get to it. Okay, we are back. We're in the next room, and we are ready to jump straight into things, I think. So we're going to start off as usual here with the minuscule manga selection, and then jump on down into trades and standard size hardcovers. We got some pops on top still. Most of these probably the same. I might have gotten a new Deathstroke one, because he's my boy, you know, I've got to support him. As far as this top shelf here, this is still pretty much exactly as it was last year. For those of you that did watch the last one, you'll probably remember that most of this is my partner's stuff anyway. But in the corner there, we got some Dead Man Wonderland. We got our little shrine to Death Note. Some Seven Deadly Sins, and then a couple Star Wars High Republic mangas there behind Black Adam. We got some more pops, things of that nature here on this shelf that I cannot fit any books on. But let's jump on down to the real meat and potatoes, and we'll jump into some DC. As usual, I'm so sorry for the glare, but we're going to kick things right off here. We've still got the Nightfall phone books. I'll probably never get rid of those things. Those were like one of my first purchases that I remember making. And then we've got the Batman by James Tynion IV hardcovers there. Their dark designs all the way through to the Fear State Saga, my god. But I'm pretty sure this just got announced for an omnibus next year, so you know how we do. We'll probably be getting rid of those and upgrading. Most of my Batman stuff is now gone, as I'm sure you've noticed. I've been really focusing on oversized hardcovers and omnis the past year, so a lot of my trades have sort of shrunk down to a lot less than what they were before. But anyway, after that, we've got Batman Superman World's Finest by Mark Waid. I've not read these yet, but I've heard very good things. If you have read those, let me know. Should I check that out soon? Batman Earth 1-3, and then the One Bad Day box set. I can't remember if this was here last year or not. I want to say it wasn't. I do double dip slightly there with the Killing Joke included in the box set, but I thought it was worth it because this box set's just really well presented, really nice. Most of these are sort of so-so, but for those that have read it, let me know what your favourite was. I think for me the standouts were definitely the Riddler, Clayface, and Ra's al Ghul. We got White Knight Presents Harley Quinn. I do need to pick up Generation Joker. And I'm pretty sure Beyond the White Knight is getting a deluxe sometime around maybe January, so looking forward to that. Freedom Fighters, Rise of a Nation, still there. Gotham City Year 1, I read that recently. Really enjoyed it, actually. As usual with Tom King, as long as he's not writing a major character like Batman, I seem to really enjoy his work. Yes, this is Gotham City, but Batman's not actually involved, really, so yeah, I really enjoyed that. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps 1-7. Still hoping for an Omni of that. In fact, Did that get announced for one next year? I can't remember. Let me know. And then we got the first volume of the new Green Lantern series, which, again, I've not read yet, but heard good things, so looking forward to that. Hawkman 1-4 by Robert Venditti. Human Target 1 and 2 by Tom King. And then we've got the Nightwing stuff there from the New 52. We've got Grayson. And we've got Tim Seeley's run from Nightwing Rebirth. I'm pretty sure the New 52 stuff is getting a reprint in Omnibus format next year. And the Rebirth stuff is also getting an Omnibus next year. And the Tom Taylor stuff is getting an Omnibus next year, which is why they are no longer here. So I'm probably going to sell this stuff and just go ham on the Nightwing Omnis next year. Try and get my hands on Grayson if I can. But, once again, DC... Nightwing the New Order. It's been a whole year once again, and there's still no deluxe edition. You guys have got to step up your game, man. Rorschach by Tom King. Once again, really enjoyed it, man. Tom King, when he's not writing those A-list characters. I don't know what it is. Shazam and the Seven Magic Lands there by Jeff Johns. Strange Adventures, another good Tom King book. What is happening? And The Swamp Thing here by Ram V, I believe. Yeah. We got the first volume there of Titans by Tom Taylor. Wonder Woman by Greg Rucka. Also getting an omnibus next year. Really excited. So probably going to get rid of this stuff. And Wonder Woman Outlaw by Tom King. What? Man. Now, I've not read this one yet. I've heard some good things. I've heard some mixed things. If any of you guys have read that, please let me know what you thought. I'm nervous, but excited. Into the Marvel then, we've got Alien 1-3 and then 1 again, but we'll just say 1-4. There might be another 1 or 2 of those out that I need to catch up on. Big Alien fan. As you can probably guess by the fact that my dog's name is Ripley, so there we go. Astonishing Ant-Man by Nick Spencer there. We've got... Now, is it Axe Judgment Day? AXE... We're just going to call it Judgment Day. We got Judgment Day there. We got Black Widow by Mark Waid and Chris Samney. And then I upgraded the Kelly Thompson trades into just one thick, complete collection. Don't ask me why, man. I don't know why I do these things either. Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, Symbol of Truth, and Cold War. And then we've got the first volume of J. Michael Straczynski's new Captain America run. As well as the first volume of Saladin Ahmed's Daredevil. Also upgraded Eternals by Kieran Gillen and Isad Ribic. Again, no idea why I do these things. I guess it's just because they look nicer on the shelf. We'll go with that. Ghost Rider by Benjamin Percy, 1-4, and then the Ghost Rider Wolverine crossover. Haven't got to this stuff yet, but looking forward to it. I've heard pretty good things, actually. Ghost Rider, man. Why is Ghost Rider so underrated? He just doesn't seem to succeed all that much in Marvel, but, like, come on. Leather jacket, motorcycle. The dude's skull is on fire. Everything about him says that he should be a huge success. I don't know why he's not. Maybe it's because we're not in the 90s anymore. Who knows? Hawkeye by Matt Fraction. Heroes for Hire. Pretty sure all this stuff was here last year. Invincible Iron Man Volume 1 by Jerry Dugan. I heard this ties in quite heavily with sort of the tail end of the Krakoa X-Men era, so picked up the first one of that. The Marvels project just came in yesterday. I've been on an absolute Ed Brubaker high recently. I'm pretty sure he's taken the spot as my favourite writer of all time. I just cannot get enough, so I had to grab that as well. We got Moon Knight there. We got the Jeff Lemire run, the Warren Ellis, He Who Shall Not Be Named, and a couple others there. A few volumes of Predator and Predator vs. Wolverine. That was pretty fun. Sort of a popcorn flick in comic book form. And we got some Punisher stuff. We got the Nathan Edmondson run. We got the Jason Aaron run. Controversial, I know. And then we got the 2 Max complete collections. The Platoon, we got Soviet, and oh my god, Garth Ennis has returned to write the Punisher, yet again with a, I believe, currently ongoing miniseries. Cannot wait for that to come out in trade. You can bet your ass I'm going to be getting my hands on that thing straight away. We got Spider-Man Big Time, the complete collections. Surprised this isn't an omnibus yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if we get that in the next few years, especially with the amount of Spidey omnis that have been coming out. We got the Superior Spider-Man Companion, and then we've got sort of the rest of Dan Slott's run there. There's a few random gaps in here, but that's because this stuff is collected elsewhere in Spider-Verse and the Clone Conspiracy, stuff like that. And then we got a couple volumes of Jeff Lemire's Thanos there, that I believe takes place just before the Donny Cates Thanos run. And then we get into some Krakoa era X-Men, Hellions, Immortal X-Men, Marauders, Sword, Wolverine. New Funko Pop there from Deadpool and Wolverine. How many of you guys have seen that thing? Let me know what you thought. I liked it. I mean, still kind of the same cameo fest that most Marvel movies are nowadays, but at least Deadpool is hilarious, so it kind of gets a pass. It's better than the cringy stuff that we get in most of them nowadays. Don't at me. But down here we got the rest of Wolverine. We got some X-Force, Jerry Dugan's X-Men, Hellfire Gala, X-Men Red. Had really good things about X-Men Red, but haven't jumped into it just yet. And then we got Star Wars. I don't know if there's anything new here, to be honest, from last year. Maybe a couple random volumes. I've sort of been on a Star Wars low recently. But, you know, I'll catch up. I think I missed out on a couple of the Omnis that have come out. I don't know if they're still in print. But yeah, that stuff is pretty much all the same. I'm not going to go through it all individually, but there it all is. I've still got my canonical timeline Google document that I've worked on, sort of collected from various sources, Wikipedia, a few different people's videos, things like that, which I'm happy to give people access to if they want it. It is probably a few months outdated now, but still really helpful if you want to go through the canon in as close to a chronological timeline as you can. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Finally watched that movie a few days ago, actually. It's taken me long enough, but we got there. And then we just got some Song of Ice and Fire books there, used as a stopper so nothing falls over. We're going to climb all the way back on now to the top. And my indie collection has certainly grown since last year, as you will see. So starting off here on the top, we've got The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott by Zoe Thorogood. For some reason, this book is too tall to fit upright on the shelf, even though it's a paperback, so it's just sitting up there for now. Picked that up. Haven't read it yet, but picked it up based on Zoe Thorogood's work with It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth, so need to check that one out soon. We got the first 3 Dune, or Dune for my American viewers, in graphic novel form. Didn't know these existed, but my girlfriend came home with these first 2 one day when she took a trip down into the city. So I grabbed the 3rd one a few days back. And I heard there's a bunch of spin-offs for maybe House Harkonnen, House Atreides. No idea if they're any good or not. Again, if anyone's read those, please let me know what you thought. Because I'm intrigued, I can't lie. Dune Part 2 is movie of the year for me so far, definitely. So really eager to dive into some more stuff. Just after Dune there, we got The Ribbon Queen by Garth Ennis. And we've got Once Upon a Time at the End of the World by Jason Aaron. I believe there's a 3rd one of that coming out in a couple months. And then I finally took the dive into the Hellboy universe. I've not read any of this yet, but really looking forward to diving in. So I picked up the paperback box set of Hellboy, and then the first 4 Omnis for BPRD, and the first Witchfinder. So need to grab a few more. There's a handful more of these, I think. There's another Witchfinder coming out soon. And then I've got to grab Abe Sapien. I don't know if the Lobster Johnson stuff is coming out in paperback omnis, but hopefully. We got the Lock and Key box set there. We got Black Science by Rick Remender. We got volumes 7 through 10 of East of West, because we've got the deluxe hardcovers further down below. Still have had no luck finding the third one for anything less than stupid money. We got the Fade Out and Fatale by Ed Brubaker. Fatale recently just got that compendium there. And then we've got the 3 Invincible compendiums, about halfway, maybe just a bit less than halfway through Invincible Compendium 2. So I need to get back to that. It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth, mentioned that earlier. Really, really good, really relatable read. That's what caused me to go and grab that one up there on the top. If any people suffer from, maybe social anxiety or any other sort of mental health struggles or have struggled with them, definitely recommend checking it out, man. I mean, this was really touching, really relatable stuff for me personally. Kill or Be Killed by Ed Brubaker. I really want the deluxe edition, man, but it's so hard to find, so I managed to grab these trades on eBay instead. Low Compendium by Rick Remender, and Nailbiter. I might dive into Nailbiter quite soon, actually. Really looking forward to that one. Really intrigued. I love me some serial killers and detectives and crime noir, things like that, so I'll probably be all over that one. Down here we got Night Fever by Ed Brubaker, Volume 1 of Nocterra, Oblivion Song, and Outcast, both by Robert Kirkman. We got the Postal Complete Collection, and we got some more Brubaker there. We got Pulp, we got the Reckless hardcovers, and we got Scene of the Crime, which I just read yesterday. That was one of his earliest works from the late 90s. We got the first 2 Spawn compendiums. I ended up selling, or I'm gonna sell, the third one, mainly just because of space, and from what I've heard from a few different people, Spawn issue 100 is sort of a good stopping point if you're not that bothered about diving into the rest of the universe. Maybe I'll change my mind, once I get all the way through it. But for now, I think I'm quite content just sort of stopping there. We got the first couple, Undiscovered Country. Haven't dived into that yet, but I've heard good things. Scott Snyder, Charles Soule. The Walking Dead 1 to 4. Where the Body Was, again, Ed Brubaker. Read that the other day. Really good, as usual. The first volume of World Tree by James Tynion IV, and Witches by Scott Snyder. Days of Sand, really touching sort of historical drama, I guess. A sort of photographer that goes around an area of America known as the Dust Bowl back in the Great Depression, I believe, and sort of takes photos of the local areas and the local people, things like that. Doesn't sound that interesting, but really quite touching. So I'd recommend checking that out if you're sort of interested in American history and things like that. These Savage Shores by Ram V. I believe that's a vampire story. Don't really know much about it, but I've just heard great things. So yeah, I took the gamble. I'll get to that soon, I'm sure. And then we've got the Sandman by Neil Gaiman. And the Sandman Mystery Theater Compendium 1. That is the DC version of the Sandman that is in the Justice Society, or the original Justice Society. And again, I love my crime noir, things like that, so looking forward to checking that one out. Sandman Universe Nightmare Country, I believe that is a newer series by James Tynion focusing on the Corinthian. Grabbed that after I read the TV show. Read the TV show? I didn't read the TV show. I watched the TV show. And then we've got Saga of the Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. We've got Sweet Tooth by Jeff Lemire. I just realized Joker should be over there. And then we've got the indie deluxes. We've got A Walk Through Hell by Garth Ennis there, published by Aftershock. We've got The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, also by Ram V. Heard great things about that from Boom Studios. Something is Killing the Children, book 1 and 2. Read both of those a couple weeks ago. First one was good fun, but the second one really picked up for me, really pulled me in. So now I'm a little sad that I've probably got a long wait until the third one comes around. Green River Killer, true detective story. Decent things in there if you're into that whole serial killer stuff that I am. I don't know why I'm into that stuff, but that's just the way it goes. Criminal, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, probably one of, if not their most acclaimed work together. I managed to grab all 3 deluxes. Really, really happy about that. Haven't jumped into that just yet. But the way I'm going with Brubaker right now, that is probably on the horizon very soon. The Department of Truth, also by James Tynion. Tynion? If you couldn't tell, I'm also really getting into his works recently, so yeah, I've been picking up a lot of his stuff. This sounded really, really interesting, sort of like an X-Files conspiracy theory type thing. Really political. I don't mind stuff like that, so really interested in checking that out. East of West 1 and 2. Still haven't found the third. Don't know if I ever will. Firepower Volume 1 by Robert Kirkman. Really, really cool sort of martial arts, Iron Fist, Avatar The Last Airbender kind of vibes. Really, really fun, really cinematic read. I believe the second and final deluxe of that is coming out in the next couple weeks, I think, maybe. So that'll probably arrive soon. Gideon Falls 1 and 2 by Jeff Lemire. These just arrived this morning. Not checked this out, but, you know, I love me some horror movies. I love me some horror comics, so interested in that. Same deal with Philadelphia there. Vampires, so I'm going to be all over that. Manifest Destiny was kind of an impulse buy. This just sounded really interesting. Sort of 2 explorers going around the United States, you know, back when it wasn't fully explored yet, and just sort of documenting their findings. There's some weird sort of fantasy, I guess, kind of elements to it. Some weird monsters, some weird conspiracy theories come to life, things like that, like Bigfoot. So yeah, it sounded really interesting, so I thought I'd check that out. We got Velvet there by Brubaker and The Walking Dead Here's Negan, and then we got a big old stash of my dog's rawhide treats. Jumping down to the final shelf here for the indie stuff, we got a couple Omnis. We've got American Vampire 1 and 2 by Scott Snyder and Raphael Albuquerque. Little bit of Stephen King, little bit of Sean Murphy. All good stuff. I'm currently maybe about a third of the way through the first Omni for that right now. And then we got the 2 Lucifer Omnis by Mike Carey, spinning out of the events of The Sandman. The Nice House on the Lake, another James Tynion horror book. And The Sheriff of Babylon, sort of an earlier Tom King work. War, in general, is like another one of those genres of film or of books that I love. You know, horror, crime, and war are my things. And a little bit of Western. I like to dabble in Western. So really looking forward to checking out The Sheriff of Babylon there. Heard really good things about that as a war comic. And then down here we've got some sort of library-sized, I guess, is the term. Basically, these don't fit upright on this shelf. So I've had to put them like this for now. We got 7 to Eternity by Rick Remender. This thing is huge. We got Geiger by Jeff Johns, upgraded that. And I got rid of Junkyard Joe because that is also getting a deluxe in a few months, so I'll be grabbing that one too. Got the first volume of Deadly Class. I believe I picked up the second one on eBay, but that's not arrived just yet. And then again by Rick Remender, we've got A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, which I've heard is sort of like a John Wick type story. So, looking forward to that. Everything else below that, it's just piles of books that I'm going to be selling. So that about wraps it up for these 2 shelves in here. So, without further ado, I will be right back and we will head on into the next room. Oh my goodness, look at this baby. Look at this big baby. Oh my goodness me. Ripley, come here. Say hi to everybody. Ripley. Okay. Okay, we are back in the next room. And we're going to jump in here to this beautiful new IKEA shelf. I can't remember if this is the Billy or the Kallax. I want to say it's the Kallax. I don't know. Either way, I'm hoping to replace the white shelves that you just saw with another one of these in the next room. I think they just look so much nicer. They're so much sturdier. So hopefully I can do that at some point this year. On the top, we've got some pops, things like that. History of the Marvel Universe. I'm an idiot, so I went to London Comic Con and grabbed a second one of that Daredevil there on the top without realizing I already had one. And then we just got some other Marvel pops here. Punisher, Daredevil, Spider-Man, things like that. Jumping on down, we've got the Absolutes. Finally, I can have these guys upright on a shelf. So we've got Absolute Batman Year 1, which my girlfriend got for me. Still got the Killing Joke. We got 3 Jokers. We got the Dark Knight, which she also got for me. We got Infinite Crisis. We got Kingdom Come, All-Star Superman, which she also got for me. I'm not trying to brag, I swear. She's just great. And then we got Superman for All Seasons there. And then moving over, we've got the very recently released Absolute Superman by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, Absolute Watchmen, and Absolute Doomsday Clock. Into the DC Omnis and oversized hardcovers, we got 52, Animal Man by Jeff Lemire. Really great stuff. I love this. I love the new 52 Swamp Thing that goes right along with it. Really love that stuff. That's what got me into checking out some more Jeff Lemire. Aquaman by Jeff Johns. We got Batgirl Returns by Gail Simone. We got the recently upgraded Batman the Man Who Laughs Deluxe by Ed Brubaker. The story itself is like, it's decent, but it's nothing that special. But there's a short story in here. I think it's called Gotham Noir. About Jim Gordon. Really, really good, man. I wish Brubaker did some more stuff like that. That was worth the upgrade just to have that included. And then we got the Long Halloween trilogy. I don't know why they're all labeled Long Halloween. I think Haunted Night also got one of these that has the Long Halloween written on it. Even though it's like totally disconnected. It's just the same creative team. I don't really care for the Haunted Night, so I've not picked that up. Maybe I'll get it eventually, just so I've got them all. I don't know. Death in the Family, we upgraded that bad boy. Still got Batman Hush, and then I upgraded Under the Red Hood. Batman Two-Face Face the Face, and The Black Mirror. Probably one of my top 3 Batman stories, along with The Long Halloween. Maybe my second favorite, actually, because I don't know what the third would be. So I had to upgrade that. We got Batman by Snyder and Capullo Omni Volume 1. And then Volume 2. Starting to get out of breath, man. I'm not used to talking this much. Anyway. Batman and Robin by Tomasi and Gleason. And then the Tynion Rise and Fall of the Batman Omnibus. I love this. I love this so much. It's really more of a Bat family story, but man, love this. I've never cared so much about Clayface in my life. Cassandra Cain is adorable in it. Tim Drake is great. Batwoman's great. Love this. We got the White Knight oversized. Like I said, I believe Beyond the White Knight is getting one of these around January time, so I can't wait for that. And then we got Blackest Night. And then down here we grabbed Brightest Day. Brubaker's Catwoman, as well as Catwoman Lonely City. We got Dark Knight's Metal and Death Metal. Deathstroke, New 52, Deathstroke by Christopher Priest. And then the 3 Jeff Johns Flash Omnis. New 52 Flash and Flash by Joshua Williamson. Really happy that this got an Omni. Don't know when the second volume is coming out. I feel like it might also need a third volume, maybe even a fourth, I don't know. but hopefully they come out in the next year or so. Gotham Central, one of my absolute favourite series of all time, by Brubaker and Rucker. Green Arrow by Jeff Lemire. Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, probably my favourite comic book series of all time. And then Green Lantern Corps, man, I can't believe that this actually got an omnibus, but I'm so happy about it. And it's a volume 1, so there's probably more. Cannot wait. Harleen and Identity Crisis there. We got Brad Meltzer's Justice League here on this shelf, as well as the New 52 Justice League by Jeff Johns. We've got Justice League by Scott Snyder. I don't think they'd arrived yet. That was sort of just after I filmed last year's video that they showed up. And then we've got Justice League Dark, the New 52 Omnibus, which I only really picked up because I'm so OCD that I couldn't face having Justice League Rebirth, or Justice League Dark Rebirth, without having the New 52 one as well. We upgraded Mr. Miracle by Tom King into a deluxe. We've got Rogues by Joshua Williamson, Black Label book. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, that dream team once again, man. We got the sleeper. Still got Superman Unchained. Still got McDonald's Superman. Superman Rebirth. Action Comics, I should say. Let me scoot along here. New 52 Swamp Thing. We got Roots of Terror. We got Green Hell. Also Jeff Lemire. That was pretty fun. The Judas Contract. Teen Titans by Jeff Johns. Wonder Woman by Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chiang. I used to have the Gail Simone Wonder Woman, but I sold it when I really needed funds a few years back. But that got reprinted earlier this year, late last year, something like that. And I'm pretty sure it's still available, so I keep getting tempted to grab that again. Because I do kind of regret selling that. That and I think Alias I sold, and I regret selling both of those, man. I'm always tempted to pick them up again. I didn't even read the Gail Simone stuff either. I just sold it because I really needed funds, but I did read Alias, and I do now regret selling that one as well. Avengers by Jonathan Hickman with the horrible mismatched spines, but that's why we've got Zombie Cap there to hide it a little, so it's not quite as bad. Impulse Buy, Black Cat by Jed McKay. Heard nothing but great things about how fun and funny this is, so I really wasn't interested at first, but man, I just kept hearing good things, so I had to go and I had to cave in. I haven't gotten around to it just yet, though. We finally got all the Brubaker Cap Omnis, another one of my absolute favourite runs of all time already. I've read all of it in the past in single issues, but upon rereading it in Omni format, I just started the Return of the Winter Soldier. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. Captain America by Nick Spencer, another run that I'm actually quite fond of. A lot of people don't like it, but man, I encourage people to check it out again. You know, when it was coming out and the whole Hydra Cap thing was a really big deal, I think it turned a lot of people off. But, you know, going back now in hindsight, it's really not as bad as people make it out to be. I defend it. I like it. Civil War, and then we got the Daredevil stuff. We got the Frank Miller run and the Companion. I nearly said Compendium. We got the Marvel Knights run, the Joe Quesada Daredevil, Kevin Smith Daredevil, all that. The Bendis run, I just wrapped up reading these a few days ago. Damn, it's good. It's really like reading the Netflix show on page, and I mean that as an absolute compliment because I freaking love that show. We got the Brubaker Daredevil run there in the corner, which you can bet I am diving into real soon. And then what arrived yesterday, the reprint of Daredevil Shadowland. Not the most acclaimed Daredevil run, but it's Daredevil, man. I've got to get it. He's my favorite. Daredevil by Mark Waid, 1 and 2. You might notice the spines are mismatched. That's because I hate Marvel. So basically, the story with that real quick, I had the first Mark Waid, I think it was in the last video actually, and it had this spine for volume 1. It had this design, this lettering. But then when they announced the reprint for 1 and 2, I think Uncanny Omar did an overview of volume 1, and I saw it had this design. So I thought, God damn it, Marvel, you had to go and change it. So I sold my copy of volume 1 because I thought, I'm not going to be able to live with that, you know, because when volume 2 comes out, it's going to have this design as well, and it's going to be mismatched. So I sold volume 1. I picked up the reprint straight away. And then volume 2 comes out, and God freaking damn it, Marvel. You gave it the same design as the original printing. So now they are completely mismatched anyway. I would have been absolutely fine if I'd just kept my original Mark Waid one. Oh, why do they do these things? I swear. For someone with OCD, this is like, it's utter pain to look at. But I'm coping. Anyway, we got Charles Soule's Daredevil, and we've got the brand new Chip Zdarsky Daredevil Volume 1. Cannot wait for Volume 2 of that. Again, I think that comes out sometime around January, something like that. Cannot wait. Eternals by Neil Gaiman. Fury, My War Gone By, Garth Ennis. Frickin' love it. Really cool companion piece to his Punisher Max run. Immortal Iron Fist and the Immortal Weapons. Haven't got around to that yet, but Ted Brubaker, man. Moon Knight, or at least half of it is. Moon Knight Omni. Garth Ennis Punisher. We got the Marvel Knight stuff. We got the Max stuff. I'm sure you guys know by now how much I love this. One of my favorite stories or series of all time. Oh, so good. So good. Jason Aaron's Punisher Max. Jonathan Hickman's Secret Warriors. Really enjoyed that. Sort of a spy thriller. And then Spider-Man. I've been going ham on the Omnis for Spider-Man. So has Marvel. I've not got any of the Stan Lee stuff. But man, we are really getting there with the rest. So we've got the David Michelinie, Todd McFarlane run. We just got the regular Spider-Man by Todd McFarlane. This just came in the post this morning. Spider-Man by David Michelinie and Mark Bagley, Volume 1. I believe that got announced for a Volume 2 next year as well. Spider-Man vs. Venom. This double dips with a few different things and will continue to double dip with a few other Spidey Omnis that I've got on pre-order. Like the Eric Larson one, I believe. So I don't know. I don't know if I should keep this or sell this. You know, if they when they're coming out with these Mark Bagley ones, it might then double dip even further. So I don't know. Maybe that one will be sold eventually. We'll see. I don't know what possessed me to grab the Clone Saga and the Ben Reilly Spidey Omnis, but I did it. They're there. They're huge. I've not read them yet. I didn't grow up with this stuff, so it's going to be really interesting to see what my opinion is of it when I get around to them. But I'm kind of excited, man. I'm kind of excited. Spider-Man by J. Michael Straczynski. I hope you guys can still hear me okay, by the way. My phone is a little bit further away from my face now. Volume 2 of that is finally coming out in a few days, I think, or it just did come out. So hopefully in the next couple days I will have that there. So I'm going to have to move everything again and make some room, man. I've ran out of room on this shelf completely. Superior Spider-Man, Superior Foes, Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon. Still got the Clone Conspiracy, but if they ever do those Dan Slott Omnis, then, you know, eventually I might be able to get rid of that. And then we got the Chip Zdarsky Spider-Man there. I don't know why it's not focusing. I'm so sorry about that. Which includes Spider-Man Life Story and the rest of his run, I believe, on Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and Spider's Shadow, I think. Haven't jumped into that yet. I have read Life Story before, but can't wait to jump into the rest of it. And then finally, on the final shelf, if I can get myself down there, we have got Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Really enjoy that for the most part. Spider-Man Beyond, that's what comes after the Nick Spencer run ends. This is the return of Ben Reilly, which is probably what possessed me to grab the Clone Saga and stuff like that, because I thought, you know, if I'm going to cave in and get this one, I might as well get the full experience. We got Ultimate Spider-Man 1 to 3. Yes, it annoys me how my dust jacket is sort of slightly mismatched there, I guess. On the third volume, you got this like gold streak from the cover showing on the spine, but I'll live with it. Volume 4 of that, I believe, comes out in the next couple months, so looking forward to that. Miles Morales 1 and 2, and then the Saladin Ahmed Miles run, upgraded that. Thanos by Donny Cates, and then we got Thor by Straczynski and Gillen. Read that quite recently. The Gillen stuff is pretty good too, but man, the Straczynski stuff is the real treat there. Sort of the first third, I think, of the Omni, something like that. That stuff is great. Really cinematic, really strong, beautiful artwork. Yeah, that stuff was great. We got Thor by Matt Fraction, and Thor by Jason Aaron 1 and 2. Another one of my favourite series of all time. Absolutely love it. My favourite Thor stuff. The Straczynski stuff is great, but man, I just love the Jason Aaron stuff. We got Venom by Donny Cates, also great. Vision by Tom King, also great. Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender, also great, but I haven't finished all of that yet. And then we got House of X Powers of 10, also great. And then the Hickman X-Men Omni, and then sort of the rest of the Hickman events, I guess. Ten of Swords, Hellfire Gala Inferno, X Lives, X Deaths, and Sins of Sinister. We got the Marvel Colors Omnibus that isn't an omnibus, with yellow, blue, grey, and white. We got Young Avengers, and then we got some Star Wars there, some Darth Vader, some Dr. Aphra, some Shattered Empire. But there are a few other canon Star Wars Omnis that have since come out that I haven't managed to pick up just yet. But I'm sure we'll get there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much that. That is my updated collection as it stands right now in 2024. I want to thank everyone once again, one last time, for tuning in. Can't wait to read any comments and answer any questions, things like that. Yeah, I love making these. I really do need to just sit down and record some more videos, because I love doing this. I love doing this. I just get so distracted. Things always come up. You know how life goes. But man, I really need to just be disciplined and get myself down there and do it. So yeah, thank you guys so much once again for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And yeah, take care, everybody. I'll see you later. Oh, look at the big baby. Oh, such a good girl. Oh, goodness me. I gotta go and give her love, guys. I'll see you soon.